Hello everybody, it is Steve, your friendly neighborhood lawn gnome, and welcome back to another episode of Stats, Trends, and Picks. And if you are watching and it happens to be a Wednesday, happy new comic book day. Well everybody, we are officially ending the third quarter of 2023 and preparing for the final 3 months of 2023, and I am very curious to see where the world of comics is going to go, because I will say that 2023 was a very tumultuous year, especially when it comes to discussions about the comic book industry in general. But in regards to reading, it has definitely been a very interesting year for me, seeing as where my trends in regards to what I am currently enjoying and what I am not enjoying are showing. And one of the few things I love to do is take a look at all of my videos and see how everything panned out, and just really give myself a nice little recap of what I actually did enjoy in the year when it comes to a close. But I am definitely excited to see what is heading down the pike in October of 2023, and of course, really excited to tell you guys what's been going on in September of 2023. So let's of course take a look at the numbers. As I anticipated, I expected DC to come back in a big way, especially now that the Night Terrors event is over. I got back into my Shazam, I got back into my Green Lantern, and I also picked up a new DC title, which is Batman and Robin by Josh Williamson, and it was fun. But I'm also really excited with October because there's going to be a whole bunch of very interesting Golden Age titles coming out, along with a very important landmark issue of comic books that I am going to be bringing to you guys' attention today. But Marvel is still not down and out. They are still very much there, even though I am definitely seeing a slight downturn in regards to how much I'm buying, although there has been a couple of very interesting pieces of news that have gotten me very curious for 2024. But DC is tied with Image this month. It was definitely a strong month for Image, and I am a little upset with what happened with the other conglomerate. It really took a dive, and it could have been a little bit higher, but unfortunately, a book that I was excited to read this month, which is Alice Never After, issue number 3, unfortunately did not make it to my store due to some damaged copies, so I have to wait a few weeks for it to return. So then, of course, when we take a look at the percentages, a tie of Image and DC, 33.33%, and Marvel is not too far behind, but we'll see what the next month brings. And then, of course, when we take a look at the charts, this has definitely been a very vibrant and very dynamic chart. When you take a look, especially with DC Comics and with Marvel Comics, it's just very curious to see what the next 3 months are going to bring. So, before we get into my predictions, I want to talk about a specific title that I personally am very upset that I didn't get on the ball with right away, but I did have an ability to catch up. So a big comic was dropped over at Image, and it's made by a very well-known writer, Rick Remender, and a lot of people are possibly calling it the best book of 2023, and it's The Sacrificers. So I was able to get my hands on the first 2 issues, and they're not kidding. This book is a page-turner. This is a very atmospheric, very engaging read, and there's a lot of questions with the end of each issue, and I am very curious to see, first of all, how long this series is going to be, because I don't think it anticipates going for more than a year, based on the fact that the title and the story seems a little too close-knit, but I could be wrong. But either way, if you haven't read The Sacrificers, just so you know, it's not for the faint of heart. There's definitely some very graphic and very emotional moments in this book, but it is a very interesting story about faith, about questioning higher powers, about authority, and about different classes of creatures. I highly, highly recommend it, and I'm very excited for issue number 3. So how did I fare in September of 2023? So I started off with saying that I was expecting Marvel Comics to come out on top with Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy issue number 1 by the 2 Rons, that's Ron Mars and Ron Lim. Very excited to see them come back to Silver Surfer after a truly great miniseries of Silver Surfer Rebirth, but I had a feeling that there were going to be some other issues that were going to give it a run for its money, but I was very happy to say that in anticipation of just 1 coming out as the best pick of the week, there were 2. Because I had to include Image Comics Swan Songs issue number 3 by W. Maxwell Prince, But Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy was one of the best reads of the week. These two books are so different from one another. They are night and day, but they are beautiful in their own special ways. Swan songs, dynamic, beautiful colors, very atmospheric, very dramatic. Silver Surfer Rebirth, action-packed, in your face. This is a fun read. So there was no way I could say it can't be just one. It's got to be both. So we had a tie for the first week, and I was very happy about that. For the second week, I thought it was going to be Fish Flies issue number 2. And I gotta say, the first issue was very strong, the second one not so much. But I am very happy that a certain issue came out that very same week because I talked about it last month. And we're talking about the Marvel Comics title, The Incredible Hulk, and this is issue number 4 by Philip Kennedy Johnson. This is one of the strongest Hulk runs, and a lot of people are talking about it. This issue was crazy good. I loved it so much. Really love the horror aspects of this book. It is so good. And I love the fact that we got Man-Thing in this book, and I am really excited for issue number 5. For the third week of September, I thought it was going to go to the DC Comics book, the one that I love so dearly, Batman Superman World's Finest, issue number 19 by Mark Waid, but it didn't. But there was a very interesting thing at the very end of this story. There might be a possibility that Mark Waid is going to be writing an ongoing Superman title, Action Comics. It says, at the very end of this book, based on this story, to be continued in Action Comics in 2024. So, is this true? Is Mark Waid officially going to be doing an ongoing Superman title? I don't know. But it was not the best book. But there were a lot of great reads this week. That was probably the best week of the year. But it ended up going to the little book that could. Boom Studios, Wild's End, issue number 4 by Dan Abnett. This book is incredibly good. It sucks me in every single time I read it. It is so character-driven, so atmospheric. There's so much tensity in this book, and it is amazing how tightly, closely knit the characters are and how they really try to survive as a unit to stave off this menace. And I don't know if I will read the previous novel sets that Wild's End already has, just because of the fact that this is a fresh take and a brand new perspective. It literally was like, I didn't even need to know what had happened before, and I got into this brand new 6-issue miniseries just fine. So I don't know, but I'm loving this one so damn much, and I highly recommend it. And for the last week of September 2023, I knew it was going to go to the book that I had been waiting for such a long time, and that, of course, is from Marvel Comics, Miracle Man, The Silver Age, issue number 6 of 7 by Neil Gaiman and art by Mark Buckingham. It is crazy to believe that this story is coming to a close. This was the issue I was so happy to receive because it was the penultimate issue that we needed. It was a very interesting story about the origins of Dickie Dauntless and why he came to be where he is now and what is in store for us for the final issue of The Silver Age. And the big question is this truly the end, or is Neil Gaiman going to get the permission to finish this Miracle Man trilogy and do the Dark Age? I don't know, but this was the best read of the end of September. And there's one more thing that I really want to say, and I don't think you're going to see this often on these videos, but there is something that I just have to get off my chest. I have to point out the worst read of September 2023 for me. And I'm so upset about the fact that this happened because I really had high hopes for this. And that was the brand new Captain America run by J. Michael Straczynski. I was so angry after I put this book down. There was nothing in this book that I enjoyed. It was boring. It was draggy. This is not the Captain America that I know, because I just read Avengers and Young Avengers by Jonathan Hickman. That's the Captain America that I know. And I don't know where this story is going. I also had not heard good things about the previous 2 Captain America runs. Out of nowhere, my local comic book store slipped the one-shot of Captain America, which was finishing off the previous 2 runs, and I didn't care for that either. So, I don't know what's going on at Marvel Comics, but nobody seems to remember how to write Captain America. I mean, do they have to literally resurrect Jack Kirby? I don't know, but this book was terrible. I hated it, and I immediately reached out to my comic book store and I said, take this off my pull list, I'm done already. So, what are we going to be looking forward to in October of 2023? Well, in the first week, we do have The Sacrificers over at Image Comics coming out, but I have a feeling that even though I'm going to love this book, and I'm pretty sure if anything it's going to end up in my honorable mentions, there's only one book that I am expecting to be the top pick of the week. And that is from Image Comics as well. And it is the first book in a brand new Transformers series by Daniel Warren Johnson. I love this guy. Jurassic League was one of my favorite reads of last year, and the fact that he was tapped to do Transformers with his own unique style of writing and art, I couldn't be more excited for this. For the second week of October, I'm going to go back to Image Comics again and give it to the 4th issue of Swan Songs by W. Maxwell Prince. I am just expecting to love this new issue because I enjoyed the first 3. I love W. Maxwell Prince and his work. Every single time it's something new. For the 3rd week of October, I am going back to something that I truly love and that is very familiar to me. I'm going to go back to DC Comics, and I'm going to give it to the newest issue of Batman Superman World's Finest. It's issue number 20. I cannot get over the fact that we are now officially 20 issues in to this truly amazing book that nobody apparently knows about, except for the people who truly love these characters. And of course, Mark Waid is doing the story. Dan Mora is back for the art because he doesn't do these little segue stories while we're waiting for new story arcs. This is the 4th story arc, and we are getting a real treat as DC and Mark Waid fans. We are returning to the world of Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come may debatably be one of the best, if not the best, DC Comics ever written. We did a whole video here over at That's Comical, so I hope you check it out. But I am really excited to see what Mark Waid is going to do when he revisits this world, and more importantly, how the versions of these heroes in the world of Kingdom Come are going to clash with the world's finest DC characters. It's going to be an interesting one. And it's also going to tie back to the 2nd story arc of this title, which I'm really excited about. But there's also a very important comic coming out this exact same week, and I just want to let everybody know about it. And that is Superman issue 7 by Josh Williamson. It is the 850th issue of the Superman title. So, I don't really know what it's going to be about. I don't know if it's going to be tying into a brand new story arc that started already in this title, or if it's going to be a taste of what is to come in 2024, because I personally would love to get back into Superman again, as well as the Action Comics title, but based on what I read in the Doomsday special, it really didn't grab me, but maybe this will do something. I just feel that if I don't pick up the 850th issue of Superman, it's just not right. Especially if I love this character, and especially because of the fact that it is the 85th anniversary of this character. And for the final week of October of 2023, a title that I haven't been talking about much, but I am very surprised that it actually is going to be my top pick, and maybe it's just because of the fact that the last issue was such a big surprise to me. And I'm going back to Image Comics, and I'm giving it to Void Rivals issue number 5 by Robert Kirkman. So, I haven't been talking about Void Rivals much. It's part of the brand new Energon universe that the Daniel Warren Johnson Transformers title is going to be tied into, as well as some other titles that are coming out at the end of this year and the beginning of next year. But this story has been good. I don't think it has been great. There was a very big surprise in the first issue, and there was even bigger surprise in the 4th issue. And how the issue ended made me so excited for issue number 5. So that is why it's here. Will it end up being my top pick? I don't know. But it's here just because of how the 4th issue made me feel. And that's going to wrap up another episode of Stats, Trends, and Picks, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below. Let me know what some of your favorite reads in September of 2023 were, and if I missed anything that you think was good that I should read, and what are some of your predictions for October of 2023 as well. I will see you in the next one.